socializing it, but I'm kind of scared of them right now.
Well, what's going on with Brazil? There's something that we don't know about.
Brazil's, I think, the 8th largest economy right now. They have the largest military in all South America, and they hate us. And while there's no way that
We hate us.
hate America or anything like that. The problem is that they have a really strong economy. They're growing in number, by large amounts. The rest of the world actually likes Brazil. They're the second largest producers of biodiesel, or whatever you're calling it, and they make theirs out of sugarcane. So most of their energy needs are taken care of, by renewable resources. They have their own stockpiles of oil. It's actually the second largest stockpile in South America. And on top of that, they're trying to create the South American Union. And since they're the largest and most prominent country in the region, they'll of course take the role of like the Germany, France of the EU and be like the main guys.
Right.
And since South America kind of hates us anyway, you're looking at like an EU south of the border that hates America. With more resources.
Right.
And cheaper labor. We're screwed.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Well, yeah, the world's clearly not turning in the direction of sovereignty or any individual nations being strong. You'll notice, like, they're trying to form these so-called unions on every continent.
Consolidation of power.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if the caller knows about the North American Union that they like to push through, but they'd like to combine. Yeah, they like to combine our economy with Mexico's and Canada.
Oh, absolutely.
Just consolidate the whole world into a nice big toy box for them to play with,
It's becoming an Orwellian world where we're going to have 4 or 5 huge superpowers duking it out for the last bit of oil.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, hey, look, we're running out of time. We got to cut you up, but can you quickly plug your show really quick?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on WNJC. It's called Common Sense, 1360 a.m. at 6 on Mondays. It's about libertarianism and how the government's kind of crappy right now.
All right, cool. Get off my land.
All right, thanks, man.
Thanks for being on the show.
All right,
see you later. All right, that's a real American hero.
No, that was good. He seemed like a cool guy.
Yeah, he's out there. He's making it happen. He's doing his thing.
That's all you can ask.
Meanwhile, doing your thing will render you chemically impotent, so you'll need Viagra to get it up afterwards. And your steady diet of trans fat food is guaranteed to give you high cholesterol, so you'll have to get Lipitor. And at the end of the night, you'll have to stay awake worrying about losing your health plan, so you're going to need Lunesta to go to sleep.
You know, it's a ridiculous cure for all of this stuff.
D ever to fight don't take a flu shot, but don't take vitamin D.
No, yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
Oh yeah, you know what a cure for a lot of this stuff is? Cholesterol, impotence. A lot of it's a little thing that nobody wants to do. It's called exercise.
Or the hemp plant.
Oh, I almost said Ritalin.
Or Ritalin. Yeah, all of these are valid answers, but I just feel like exercise is just such a crucial thing that that it's
sort of a requirement for life.
Yeah, and it cures so much of what ails you that it's ridiculous. Like if you were being overweight, having high cholesterol, you could theoretically eat 19 cheeseburgers a day and have that be your diet if you are willing to then burn said calories and fat and all that off every single day. Then there's no problem there.
When Jim, our friend Jim, he did for those who don't know, our friend Jim, he did a 6-month internship kind of with farmers, and he learned how to farm. Basically, learned how to. A lot of all the work that goes into running a farm, and he was partnered with this dude who explained that he ate something like 7 to 12 hard-boiled eggs per day.
Yeah.
But guess what he did all day? He farmed.
Yeah.
So it's he was gobbling down all this cholesterol, but he went to the doctor and said, you're healthy as shit.
Yeah.
Because cholesterol is like lubricant for your veins. It's like motor oil in a car. It keeps you going. It's just when it's combined with an utter lack of activity, that's when it turns into
sitting
sludge.
on the couch.
Kills you. But the truth is, when you are an active human being, which is what God intended, the cholesterol in your veins actually lubricates you and makes your whole circulatory respiratory system work better.
Right.
Cool. How are the Flyers doing?
I have no idea.
We don't know here. We don't like sports. We don't condone sports.
I like sports a little bit.
Sports are all right. We like sports here.
I like them a little bit. I'm not crazy like some folks are, but like, you know.
Bottom line is you can get your sports news elsewhere.
Yeah, that's
bottom
line.
How I feel.
I'm not talking about sports news. I mean,
bottom line.
It's
how are they doing?
I
personally?
could give a shit about.
Well, one flyer is probably, you know, he's got a little argument with his wife going on, but he's not going to let that affect him in his gameplay. Like what?
Well, it ties into the exercise thing. You got to stop watching so many sports and go out there.
Maybe play some sports.
Yeah,
excellent point. Excellent point. What is this perverse dichotomy we have in this country of watching people who are freakish because of their athleticism being observed by people who are freakish because of their lack of activity? Like, you have freakish fat fucks who watch sports, who haven't played sports since their high school years, who at this point are just nitrate-ridden beasts who sit on their couch and observe it. Watching people who are also freakish, but freakish on the opposite end of the spectrum.
It's true.
What civilization is 6 billion people trying to make themselves happy by standing on each other's shoulders and kicking each other's teeth in. It's not a pleasant situation. And yet, you can stand back and look at this planet and see that we have the money, the power, the medical understanding, the scientific know-how, the love, and the community to produce a kind of human paradise. But we are led by the least among us, the least intelligent, the least noble, the least visionary. We're led by the least among us, and we do not fight back against the dehumanizing values that are handed down as control icons. This is something, I mean, I don't really want to get off on this tear because it's a lecture in itself, but culture is not your friend. Culture is for other people's convenience and the convenience of various institutions, churches, companies, tax collection schemes, what have you. It is not your friend. It insults you. It disempowers you. It uses and abuses you. None of us are well treated by culture. And yet we glorify, the creative potential of the individual, the rights of the individual. We understand the felt presence of experience is what is most important, but the culture is a perversion. It fetishizes objects. It creates consumer mania. It preaches endless forms of false happiness, endless forms of false understanding in the form of swirly religions and silly cults. It invites people to diminish themselves and dehumanize themselves by behaving like machines, meme processors of memes passed down from Madison Avenue and Hollywood and what have you. How do we fight back? It's a question worth answering.
Yeah, but John totally doesn't like McKenna at all. Like
he doesn't like him particularly. One of the reasons is because he criticizes science a lot. He has a lot of
because he criticizes science.
Yeah.
Like it's just about time.
He considers himself a scientist ultimately, but he has certain unflattering things to say about it. Like namely, I hate to even try to articulate it, but he basically science says that in terms of physics, it's always the same no matter if you test the speed of gravity 500 years ago, it's the same as the speed of gravity right now.
Correct.
Which generally holds true, but not in the ultimate cosmic sense.
Right.
Because time is sort of like this other facet of reality that isn't always taken into account by mainstream science.
Yeah. You know what?
Very difficult to explain from a layman's perspective, but
like I know you guys think you think that guy's like a blowhard, but that guy that's always up at the bar, that particle physicist or whatever,
husky.
Yeah. One time I had a hilarious conversation with him, and we were talking about time or whatever, and time travel and like all this ridiculous, whatever bar talk, right. And this was a literal exchange between us. I was just like, I don't remember how it crescendoed to that, but I was just like, well, time is relative. And he was just like, well, says who? And I was like, Einstein? Like, I mean, like, what do you, like, says who?
Clearly relative.
Like,
Says who?
But yeah. I was like, I don't know.
Says empirical evidence. I mean, anyone can see this. Here's all you have to do. Okay, look at any clock and